Hey guys, it's Scott again, Good Book Explorer. Glad to have you with me again today. We're doing the rest of the chapter 2, the first paragraph there. I think it's about 2 more verses, maybe 5 through 7 of chapter 2 we're going to talk about today. And we're continuing on with the James's teaching about partiality. You know, we talked about that the last time and how tough that is to kind of see how we treat people differently, and it's just it's hard to recognize. Even when you're doing it, it's hard to recognize, but then from the outside it's sometimes it's easy to recognize, if that makes sense. So sometimes we just have to be honest with ourselves that, oh, you know what, maybe I do treat some people different, and I need to work on that. So that's where James is talking, but he continues on today talking more about the differences between the rich and the poor. And he does kind of a neat thing here. He talks about the poor who maybe don't have anything, but they're rich. They're rich in the faith, and they will inherit the kingdom. I mean, he just really kind of does a flip-flop on talking about the poor, how rich they can actually be. And this is so true, because you think about, I've heard the saying about a rich man may need the Lord, but a poor man, woman, child, must have the Lord, because a lot of times that's all they have. And when we go to other places, you can really see that. People who have nothing. I know we went to Honduras many years ago, and dirt floor huts with almost nothing material. But you hand those people a Bible. One little girl I remember was handed a Bible, and she was just over the moon to get that. And of course here in the States, just a Bible everywhere, so we don't really think about it as much. But as we've been kind of giving out Bibles here in the States, I'm pretty well amazed though the amount of people that we encounter that don't have a Bible in the home. So that's one of the things that we try to do, is give Bibles. But anyway, I got sidetracked. James talks about how the poor can be rich, and then he does the same with the rich. When he talks about them, especially in the assembly, he says, guys, why in the world would you treat them with favor when they're the ones that, take you and drag you into court? They're the ones that are mistreating the church sometimes, and then you're showing them favor? So we've got to be careful of that fact. So he just kind of continues on and wraps up these things about the difference between the rich and the poor, and gives us even more reasons about why we want to treat them the same. And I just want to expand on the thing about the poor. There's been many times in my life, my personal life, when I've seen people with literally nothing, who are just overflowing with joy and just have just a fullness of life, and they do not feel poor. And they know that once they get home, they leave this world. They're looking forward to that. When they leave this world, they know where they're going. They'll have that great heavenly home. So there's almost a looking forward to that. So the poor have that to their advantage, that they can be more spiritual, their mind is more on the things of God, because that's where their treasure is. They're seeing, I'll eventually, this is going to be where my treasure is. The first will be last, the last will be first. We have those things, and so they're looking forward to that day, to that streets of gold home they have. For the rich, it's a little harder. It's a little harder because they have, everything already. And listen, as an American, I will totally put myself in that category of wealth. Although we're, by American standards, we aren't wealthy, but I'm just saying on a worldly standard, we are. So we have to guard against, I have to guard against that about, I don't want to leave. I've got so much. I don't want to go to heaven. Or the old song was, I want to go to heaven, but just not right now. So that's another difference between the rich and the poor, is the poor are looking for that, and the rich maybe not so much. So James just reminds us that we need to be careful how we treat the poor, because sometimes they're the richest people that we know, and a lot of times we can learn so much from those who don't have as much as far as their spiritual walk. So he's kind of wrapping up this little section in the first 7-8 verses of chapter 2 about the difference between the rich and the poor. But there's a lot. I invite you to go to the book and read that and see what you glean from that, because there's a lot going on there in the differences between the rich and the poor. Hey, we're moving on next time. We're still at Guadalupe. May get another video from Guadalupe River State Park here in Texas, but we're moving soon to another state park. May get you up there for the next James video. Guys, hope you're enjoying it. Give us some feedback on what's going on, and we'll see you soon. All right, thanks guys, bye.